everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ace on Music After Hours. I'm joined again by my trusty producer, Mark, and my long-suffering assistant, Sean.
I like how you always say suffering.
Well, I know it.
Well, I'm suffering now because we're not working, all right?
Tell me about it. Okay. So I thought it would be fun this week to talk a little bit about something that most people don't know anything about, and it's something that in the business we refer to as superfans. Now, every band that I manage has a group of fans who are beyond fanatic for the band, who will travel the world, who have met the band hundreds of times and are tireless in their support of the group, and also can be a little creepy sometimes, but
A little stock.
but in general, they're really cool people, and it's hard to not say enough about their continued support of the band, and they invariably end up getting to get to know us in a certain way, and it's always kind of cool. And I thought we could talk about a few of those people that we've encountered over our years. And I remember there's one fellow, for example, you've never met this fellow. When I worked for years with Motorhead, there's this fellow from Stuttgart, Germany. His name's Klaus Fabry, who's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. At the time, he was a courier working there, and music is his life, and Motorhead is his favorite band of all time. He would scrimp and save, and he went to so many shows. I mean, over the 25 odd years that I worked with Motorhead, I bet you I saw Klaus at 200-300 shows. I mean, he just crazy amounts.
Right.
And some of the bands really take care of these people too. You know, like I've seen when I was with Motorhead, there was many times that that they would invite the guys onto the bus and let them travel with them to the next town and things like that, because you get to know these guys over the years. You know, some of them become very dear friends. I mean, there's a mutual friend that you and I have from Holland whose name is Robert.
I was going to actually bring that up.
Yeah, Robert's a big Motorhead guy, big lot of bands, but Motorhead's where I met him, and he's one of my best friends in the world now. But that guy, he became one of Lemmy's closest friends. In fact, there were several projects that have been involved where Lemmy asked for him to be the one to interview him and things like that. So
yeah,
they can transcend it, but sometimes they also get kind of wild. Like Europe is another band that we manage. And, and there's one super fan there. Her name's May.
Oh, I know who she is.
May Pan.
I've seen her at a lot of gigs.
She's awesome. I mean, she's super intelligent. She loves the music. She's so devoted. But I swear that a few years ago, we were on tour, and she presented each member of the band with a big hardbound book that she had made that was several hundred pages long. And in this book was all the pictures that she had ever taken with that band member over the years. And you realize that she had literally gotten them to pose for hundreds of photos with her over the years.
Oh, man. I remember when you first brought me to England, and I don't remember the gig, but it was on the coast by the beach. And Europe was playing, and we saw the group of people that were sitting in front of the bus. I'm like,
yep.
Oh, fans. Oh, that's May. She goes to every gig. And I was like, oh, really? Didn't think anything of it. And then throughout the years of hanging out with you, I seen her at every gig. I was like, oh, yeah. Wow.
Let's take Uriah Heep. We had two there that these twin sisters.
Yes.
Claudia and Andrea.
Yeah.
And there was hardly a Uriah Heep show that I went to where they weren't in the front row pumping their fists to every song. Now, unfortunately, last week, Andrea succumbed to some real medical issues, and she passed away.
So sad, dude.
Truly,
it was
very
like
young, too.
Totally unexpected, you know. Literally, when I first started working with Ace brought me on these adventures of going to see these bands, and it took me a couple gigs to realize that there was these two twins in the front row at Uriah Heep. I'm like, what's up with the girls? They go everywhere, and oh yeah, they're at every gig. I'm all, yeah, right. Regardless if we were in England or we were in Scotland
or Ontario,
Ontario, They were there in front, and somehow they made an effort to get to these shows and get to the front row.
Always.
Yeah, and no matter what the obstacles, whatever they had to go through to get to this, it's amazing how they were always up front.
Oh, and their devotion for the bands are crazy. I mean, I remember Maypan, the one from that was the big Europe fan.
Yeah.
I was on one of those rock cruises. I think it was Monsters of Rock. We had Europe on there. And I saw Maypan and another one of the super fans for Europe, a girl from Japan whose name eludes me at the moment, and they're always hanging out together. And I saw the two of them in the buffet area eating dinner, and I thought, this could be interesting. So I went up to them and I said, "Ladies, do you mind if I join you for dinner?" And they were like, "Of course, Europe's manager, of course, you know." So I'm sitting there going, I said, "Can I ask you ladies a personal question?" And they said, "Sure." I said, "Are either of you married or in a relationship or anything?" And the girl from Japan said, "No, I'm single." And Maypan said, "Oh no, I have a boyfriend." And I went, "Doesn't it bother him just how fanatical you are for Joey Tempest? Doesn't that?" "Oh no, he understands. Joey's here, he's here." And I was like, "What?"
It is interesting, and the psychology of this. We started working on a documentary on superfans in sports.
Really? Okay.
And particularly following many of these superfans in Oakland, and it was pretty incredible. My wife's father follows one of the local college softball teams. That there is a sense of identity that comes along with this, and I'm always drawn back to Almost Famous with the Band-Aids.
Yeah, that's right.
The super fans that they, the girls that followed the band, they were a little bit more than groupies. They weren't just in it for the action. But genuine fans who identify with that. And
well, it's interesting you brought that up, because I want to make one thing clear, because that's immediately the place that most people leap to is the groupie factor here. And I want to make it clear that when I'm talking about what we refer to as super fans, it's generally not that. It's just that they are so devoted to this band and the music that this band does and I understand their impulse, because for me, when I become enamored with an artist's music, I want to know what makes that artist tick. I want to know what is the fuel that is running that engine that's making this music that's affected me. And so I get it.
Plaster Caster?
Plaster Cast, no.
Oh, no, okay.
We'll leave that to Gene, okay? But no, I mean, Groupies is an entirely different story, and that could be a whole podcast on its own. But anyway, no, this is super fans. But anyway, so that I really think that I think there's a lot of fun stories about those people. But I really just want to say that we appreciate you. We really do appreciate you, and thank you for your devotion to the bands, and thank you to Mark and to Sean for joining me here at Ace on Music After Hours. Thank you to all you who support us through Patreon. It helps get the show out there and helps letting us make it every week. And just remember, this is only going to grow with your help. Get the word out. Spread the word about the podcast. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.